Back at it again, another blessed day, another opportunity in the market to make something happen. We just got to be thankful that we're here to see the day and for the opportunities. Now, before we get started, let's keep in mind that this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please read the disclaimer in the description. Secondly, y'all see I got that headband back on. I came to play, but I ain't playing. I did play around today, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I do still make mistakes as a trader. A lot of people don't like to admit it, but hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, I made a mistake today. A couple of them. But we're gonna get into that as we continue to talk about the market. So let's go ahead and dive into this Get Money Monday and let's see what happened. So first, you can take a look here. We got the SPY. We gapped down and had a little sell-off. Volume was kind of equal to the previous days, so that's kind of okay. We gapped down because of the whole strikes with Iran, and then apparently we're having some situations where we're going to provide the safety for nations or companies or whoever to use the strait while we're preventing Iran from using it. So it's going to be some conflict dealing with that. We don't know if we're going to get any retaliation from them or if this is what it's going to be like for the near future. We have no idea. So it's just bringing a lot of uncertainty into the market. We take a look at QQQ. It's kind of showing the same thing where we have the gap down. Instead, on this one, the volume is a little higher. Tech sector is and AI is a lot more volatile, and that's more. QQQ is much more heavily focused on those sectors, so you got to keep that in mind. However, I do want to remind you guys when we have that trend, we're going up. It typically the odds are in favor of a reversal. Now, the catalyst is what kind of fueled this red day, but we do need to keep these technicals in mind. Now, let's go ahead and get into what I was paying attention to today. And I told you guys about this stock several times last week. Apple. What did I keep telling you guys? We had a beautiful, nice push to these highs. Really nice consolidation on low volume right under highs. All we need is some kind of volume and catalyst to get us through there. However, we did not have the volume today, which is why we finished basically where we started. Reason why we didn't have the volume? Because of the market fluctuations. There's a lot of uncertainty going on with the war. However, this still provided an amazing opportunity at the market open, and I did not get the chance to take advantage of it. Let me not say I didn't get a chance to take advantage of it. That's the wrong thing to say. I just didn't. So let's go ahead and dive into it really quick. And while I pull that up, Apple, and I was looking at the 320. And wait till you guys see this bad boy. So first, let's go ahead and take a look at the chart. So let me slide over. And you can see right out the gate, we shot $2 immediately. Opened from 317.04 to 319.63. We're pushing towards $3. And man, that alone provided amazing returns. Now, I did not touch it during that first candle. The reason why I did not touch it is because I didn't see what I was looking for. However, there were plenty of good opportunities to jump in with that momentum because the stock initially wicked red, reverse green, popped up to about right around this 3017.50, pulled back maybe like 10-15 cents, and then just kept shooting up. Did that one more time, and it just took off and kind of hovered around this area. I tried to jump in on this second candle for the break. We pushed over the highs, and as you can see, we got this good flush. It hit my risk level, boom, slapped me out of it immediately. So after that, you know what we're looking for. We're volume hunting. So we get the consolidation, brief consolidation, if you can even call that consolidation. Boom, beautiful volume, beautiful break. I bought there, cleaned up some of my loss. Then you see this really nice push right here. Same thing again, volume, boom. Then you get the same thing right up here again. As you can see, the volume increase from the previous candle, boom. So I jumped in on this break. I missed this one, and I jumped in again here because you can see that nice tightening price action, all topping out right at that 322.50. Real nice volume push, boom. So I was able to clean up basically all my loss that I took here on Apple. However, like I said, the opportunity was amazing, y'all. Let's look at this. We're starting from a low of basically 50 cents. And on the first candle, we're pushing to $1.70. So the initial entry that I should have been looking at, now I wouldn't have looked at the red to green, but I would have been looking right around here, around this 317.50. So that might have been somewhere around $1 to, let's say, $1.15. That would have been a beautiful entry if I could have got in there. As a matter of fact, I don't even think it was $1.15. What I'll do is I'm going to actually stop the video, and because I have the recording of it, and I'm going to show what it actually looked like, and I'm going to tell you guys where I would have got in. All right, everybody. So as you can see, this is the video right here. As you can see, I was ready to get 20. I was expecting this to open up around $1. Expecting to get 20 for this really nice push. You see, I'm using a 320. Today's expiration. We have this nice push right before pre-market. Now let's go ahead and dive into it. Boom. So as you can see, we start off red. Option prices in. We're at 44 by 58. Slowly pushing up. Boom. We flash green. Right on that flash green, you see we have some market prices going around 57. So if I were to throw a market order in, I could have possibly gotten anywhere between 50 and 58. Hopefully they would have got me in at 57. And as you see, this first candle went all the way up to a high of 170. So you're getting 2x if you get in on that red to green. But I'm going to show you exactly what I was talking about, where I wanted to get in at. Boom, right there. Once I seen that pullback like that, I should have been ready to lock and load and jumped in once we got the break at that 317.30. Boom, threw my order in right there and get filled. Now, I don't know where I would have got filled at right there. But you see, you get this continued momentum push just going, 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 going. Look at that, y'all. Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. And we're not done yet because we went all the way to 319.63. Mm, 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 mm. Let's just watch it. Let's just watch it to the end. And you see me on my side, I didn't jump in at anything. Once I missed my opportunity, I just left it alone, which is typically the best thing to do. And we're all the way up to 170. Boom. All right, so now that you guys see the video, you guys see exactly what I was looking at and what I missed. That was unfortunate, but you just move on. It was a great lesson to learn. I did some great preparations after that miss. I'll tell you right now, I won't be missing that again. But let's go ahead and jump into the QQQ. So one thing I noticed, and I always say this, you have to pay attention to volume. You have to pay attention to volume. You have to pay attention to volume. Today I had an opportunity to watch the market and see what happened. And right here, midday, not even midday, early morning, boom, we had this huge flush with big volume. Volume that's almost as much as stronger than any other candle today besides the opening print. So when I seen this, I immediately thought, anytime you see a flush like this or a pop with big volume like this, some kind of news has been released. And it will get to retail traders last. But the institutions and the people who's in the offices, and when I say office, I mean like the White House office, anybody who has any kind of ties to that's better than mine and then and the other retail trader, they have already made their plays on this trade. So you had to be ready for the next move. So once I seen this candle right here, I said, okay, cool, let's get ready for a setup. We had this nice push right here on this candle, but since we started off printing red, my thought process is immediately, let's try to catch red for another flush. We had to push here, boom. Once this thing reversed red, I jumped in, closed out somewhere around here, locked in like 20%. Really, really good move. Then I end up reversing. I believe I jumped in on somewhere on this break like this for this push, locked in a good percentage as well. So mind you now, I done cleaned my whole Apple loss off, and I just made some good moves or good trades on QQQ and SPY. Now let me say this, I need to throw this out here because it just sounds like I'm just jumping in trades, which I am, but risk management is everything. There's not one trade that I don't jump in that doesn't have a stop loss. I'm going to say that now. Let me say it again. There is not one trade that I make that does not have a stop loss attached to it. Every trade I make has a stop loss attached to it because you never know what can happen. You can think that it's going to go one way and it will completely reverse, and you can just lose your whole account if you try to trade that big. So once again, every trade that I take always has a stop loss attached to it. I have to keep my risk management as sound as possible. That's the only way I'm able to grow my account. So I took advantage of that really nice. Then we had this really nice fade down to lower days. I try to take advantage of some of these breakdowns at lower days with the assumption that we were going to get a continued fade due to all the war news. That's where I messed up, everybody. That's where I destroyed myself. I gave back all my profit. Mind you now, I'm doing great moves. Boom, hitting it here, hitting it up. I even caught another good fade down here somewhere. I gave back all that and more. Why? Over trading. And mind you, now I told you all my trades have a stop loss attached to it. So with that being said, my percentage, my risk percentage didn't even for each loss. Damn. So with that being said, my risk was extremely tight on each trade. Like I didn't lose on one of my trades. I did lose about like 7% on that trade. But once again, I'm not even using half of the account value on that one, so that really had no effect on it. But all my other losses were literally under 1% because they just wiped out the gains and then turned into the losses. Where I really lost that was just the buildup of the commissions. That's really what pushed me into the red. My losses on the trade just had me break even, but the commissions kind of pushed me into the red, and that was all due to over trading. So you just had to keep in mind with that, just being much more selective and understanding that your window for opportunity might be closed. Wait for the next day, let the market set back up, get ready to attack again. That's the simple remedy. You just have to close the computer and get away from it. Go find something to take your time, go work out, go do something. But that was it for me for today. Let's just take a quick look at some of the stocks that I seen that might be sitting up potentially. One is Microsoft. I do like the fact that we still finished green on the day while the overall market was red, and we're real close to this 400 level. I want to see a magnet pull to this 400 for that possible break. Amazon, that's also really nice too. Once again, finishing green while the overall market was red. We're right here on this 250. I told you guys about the 250, 400s, the 50, the 100s, and the 10 levels. I already told you guys about that. So hoping that we get a nice push here, possible gap up for a continued run from there. That was really, and Tesla. Let's break down under this 390 for a nice fade to possibly 370. That's what I'm looking at if we continue to have red days. I just need that volume to support the move, and that's going to be really nice as well. But I believe that is it for me for today. Bank earnings are tomorrow morning. They will be starting tomorrow morning. So let's see how the quarter's going to start. We have some really good banks that's going to be releasing earnings tomorrow. So we'll see how the quarter starts from there. Banks are sitting at their highs too, so that should be really nice. Okay, yeah, that should be really nice. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes going into tomorrow. SpaceX, always gotta take a look at SpaceX and let you know what's guys going on here. We're still waiting for that reversal, and this is a tough market, so we don't know exactly what's gonna happen at this moment. But yeah, that is definitely it for me for today. We'll be back tomorrow, seeing if we can find some other opportunities. Just gotta be thankful for today, man. Everybody stay safe, stay blessed.